Have you ever felt like nobody truly understands you? You can be surrounded by people and still feel completely alone. You explain yourself, but somehow they still don't get it. So you start wondering, is something wrong with me? Maybe I'm too sensitive. Maybe I expect too much from people. But here's what psychology tells us. Feeling misunderstood doesn't always mean you're alone. Sometimes it means you're processing things more deeply. You notice things other people ignore. A change in someone's tone. A pause before someone answers. The look on someone's face. The energy in a room. You may pick up on these signals without even realizing it. Your brain is constantly reading social information. And sometimes that constant awareness becomes exhausting. You start analyzing every conversation. Why did they say it like that? Did I say something wrong? Are they upset with me? And sometimes there isn't even a problem. Your mind simply filled in the gaps. That's where overthinking begins. One small moment becomes 10 different explanations, and suddenly you're fighting a problem that may not even exist. The hardest part is that it feels real. Your body reacts before your logic catches up. Your heart speeds up. Your thoughts speed up. And suddenly, silence feels threatening. A delayed text becomes a rejection. A short reply becomes anger. A quiet room becomes loneliness. But your interpretation isn't always reality. And learning that difference can change the way you see everything. But there's another reason you may feel misunderstood. You may not communicate what you actually need. You expect people to understand your silence. You want them to notice you're hurt without actually telling them you're hurt. You want support, but you say, I'm fine. You want reassurance, but instead you pull away, and then you wonder why nobody understands you. People can't read your mind. They only see what you show them. If you hide your feelings, people may assume you're okay. If you stay silent, they may assume nothing is wrong. And this creates a painful cycle. You feel misunderstood, so you withdraw. Then they understand you even less. So what can you do about it? Start by saying what you actually feel. Not aggressively, not dramatically, just honestly. Instead of saying you don't care, say I felt ignored. There's a huge difference. One creates defensiveness. The other creates understanding. But communication isn't the only piece of the puzzle. Sometimes you're surrounded by the wrong people. Not everyone is capable of giving you the connection you need, and that's not always your fault. Some people simply don't know how to connect deeply. They may care about you, but show it in a completely different way. Maybe they don't say much. Maybe they show love through actions. And if you only recognize one kind of connection, you might miss the others. This is why self-awareness matters. Before asking, why don't they understand me? Ask yourself, have I actually told them what I need? Have I given them a chance to understand? Or am I expecting them to guess? That question can change everything. Because understanding isn't just about being understood. It's also about learning to understand others. Sometimes the person you want to be understood by is also waiting to be understood. Think about your closest relationships. Who makes you feel safe enough to be honest? Who makes you feel like you have to hide? Notice the difference. The right people don't require you to constantly explain your worth. You don't have to perform for them. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be real. And sometimes being understood starts with understanding yourself. Because you can't clearly communicate something you haven't clearly understood yourself. Start by identifying what you actually need from people. Is it attention, support, honesty? Once you know what you need, communicate it clearly. Don't make people decode your emotions. Tell them. And listen too. Understanding is a two-way street. You don't have to agree with everything. You just need to understand where each other is coming from. And that changes relationships in ways you might not expect. But here's something even more important. Being misunderstood doesn't always mean you're surrounded by bad people. Sometimes you're simply speaking different emotional languages. You ask for words. They give you actions. They ask for space. You interpret it as rejection. They need time. You need an immediate answer. Neither person is necessarily wrong. You just need to understand the difference. The goal isn't to make everyone understand you. It's finding the people who genuinely want to understand. The people who listen without immediately judging. The people who make space for your feelings. And the people who communicate instead of making you guess. Those relationships feel different. You don't constantly question where you stand. You don't constantly analyze every message. You don't have to constantly prove yourself. You can simply be yourself. And that's when relationships start becoming easier. You stop searching for hidden meanings. You stop assuming the worst. You start asking instead of assuming. And sometimes the answer is much simpler than your mind imagined. Maybe they were busy. Maybe they didn't see your message. Maybe their short reply had nothing to do with you. Your brain filled in the blanks. And sometimes those blanks are filled with fear instead of facts. So before you decide someone doesn't care, pause. Ask yourself what you actually know. Then ask what you're assuming. That tiny pause can save a relationship. Because not every silence means rejection. Not every distance means they don't love you. And not every misunderstanding means the relationship is broken. Sometimes, all it needs is one honest conversation. So speak honestly, listen carefully, and stop expecting people to read a mind you never opened.